Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. It's the daily news right around 2-ish. So it's not a super busy day, but there is some stuff to talk about. Even though I talked about this yesterday, I feel like maybe I didn't stress quite uh, how doable this was if you had Striker Talent up. My free-to-play maxed it, and I'll show you that. I'll go to that account next. I'm on Mherex because I haven't maxed it. I did my showdown tasks and stuff, and I did some talent up already. And then I was like, you know what? I'll just stop and I'll do the remaining to show people like really efficient way to go at it. So we need like 1.6 million points, right? To max it. I don't really need the YEET plate. I have the superstars in it, but there's some prize wall currency that can be put back into resources as well. And also, I mean, like I can show you guys like how this works like efficiently. It's a lot of times easier to show people than say it. I'm at 7.75 billion coins. So you're going to want to go to your strikers. So sort by class. And what you're looking for actually is preferably somebody you've fused up that you haven't leveled up, if that makes sense. So somebody like you pulled a gold fuse of that still needs a bunch of levels. Bonus points if they're also good. But let's say you pulled like a 6-star gold fuse of Bradshaw and you haven't leveled him up. You can just go ahead and jack his levels up a decent amount, right? And that'll be a big difference. So what you're kind of looking for here, do I have, no, I don't have a fuse for her. Maybe it would even be better to sort by your fuses if you save your fuses. So like Drew is one. He has 120 levels still to go, right? Not the best example though, because 270 is expensive levels at this point. But if you have a bunch of shards of somebody, you can also use their moves to level them up. So I'm just trying to find a good example because I've already done some. I should really, because I have a bunch of fuses I'm sitting on. I should probably sort by fuses. Let me look at my. I could have done this better, guys. I'm sorry. Let me look at my posters. Let's see if any strikers. 1, 2. He's already up there. Brett's already up. Dusty might not be. Hogan's already up, so that's not going to be extra. Macho, I think, is already up. Same thing with Mr. T. Sarge is already there. Warrior 6-star silver. So that's likely a useful one. So let me go back and we'll check. Let's see. I might have leveled Warrior up once when he was, apparently I did. Never mind. And Hall of Fame Dusty he's probably 6-star bronze too. I've leveled so many people up over the time when I need talent. I don't have a lot of good examples to show you. It's actually easier on a lower account. So like Seth, he's level 210. He needs 100 levels. We can get some cheap talent here. Potentially like, what do we got? Three. I think that's like 18 million for 1,000 talent, which when you have billions is kind of a drop in the bucket. So like you might like up to 240 generally is pretty cheap, 2K talent. So we can hit that. Get a bunch of points there. Didn't really knock too much off there. We can also check his moves. I've already done that because I already, like I said, did a bunch of the easy ones that I had. Almost same kind of situation. He was much lower. I took him all to 210 first, right? So he's another, like, go ahead and go to 240. The best example I have is one I'm going to leave unleveled, though. Probably. Because I like having a really, really bad, a really, really unleveled person to throw into Blitz. Just to make it easier. So like this, you could go up to like 210, spend hardly any coins, and get like, 15K talent, right? It's a 6-star unleveled. So any 6-star unleveled strikers would be your go-to, like first, for sure. 5 stars are pretty decent if they're unleveled. So like NBT Brock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, probably be pretty decent. Again, up to 210, fairly cheap. So 4,800 talent for, I think it's like 4 million, right? Doesn't take too much. So you're just kind of looking for 5 stars and up. Oh, Macho, that fuse will help. He's only gold? Okay, let's go. Yeah, here we go. So we obviously get some talent there. And now we can just, again, probably go to 210 on a 5-star. I wouldn't go probably past 210. You know, but then we get, there's 1700 more points, but we also now have these if I have shards. So if you had a bunch of TP, you could use that like I do, but you want to look for shards too, right? To level up their moves with shards. If you, assuming they're extra, don't go using like shards that you're short on, of a style you're short on, right? So like, I can't imagine. Oh, I did apparently take them up at some point, right? But we do have a bunch of shards for Steamboat, and yeah, here we go. So you can make sure and equip the moves for this. You can see we're getting some talent up here. But yeah, it was much easier on my free to play because I had a ton of strikers I'd never touched, right? So much easier on him than it is on Mherex. But you can see we've already, what have we already done? Almost like 400,000 points for the event. You know what I mean? So like it's not horrible. If you want that strap, or that the yeet plate, and or the shards. So you have to decide if it's worth it to you. I won't know that for your account. Like here's a great example. Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. If she's 6-star, we can get like some cheap levels there. There's 2,700 talent. Right? Moves. I'm sure I have a bunch. Yeah. And just use a bunch of shards for her. See, it just like really starts to move pretty decently, right? And the lower they are, obviously, the better. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Rocky Johnson's another one. Go right to 210. You can see now we've made like what, over 600,000 points. We've spent like 250 some mil, I think. So you can really, like, depending what you have, be fairly efficient with it. You're looking preferably for 6-stars that aren't leveled very far, right? 210 is pretty cost effective. And then if you have shards of them, even better, right? You can see we got like 100,000 points out of that. Um, oh, he's way under leveled, and he's silver, so we'll go, yeah, we'll go 220 here. Yeah, just kind of start racking them up, right? So, and then if you have any level 1 moves, it's way better. So we have a couple here, right? Let's use like a 2000 TP, for example. You can see we got a bunch. He's maybe not the best example because like I am using TP here, and you would prefer to do it with like people with that you have a decent. I have a bunch of TP though, but people that you have a bunch of shards for. You can see we got like another 100,000 out of this, right? So that's kind of what you're looking for as you go through this. You're just looking for people that aren't, and we can get a little bit maybe out of here for cheap-ish. Let's go 230 on this one. You know, I have plenty of currency for him, so let's blow some. That's about enough there, right? One of the coolest skins they've ever released, by the way. How awesome is that? I wish he was relevant, because this is such a freaking cool skin. I love it. Alright, anyway. Why did I level him up at some point? Who knows? Probably for the moment. Also be looking at your moments too, for sure. See if there's any people you need to level up to max moments that you care about. Now would be a great time for that. People that are CSS often would be good ones too, like Bam Bam, or obviously useful trainers, that kind of thing. That's exactly the kind of thing you're looking for. He was a moment move. Trish, maybe? Nope, she was a moment move at some point for me. I feel like this was a fuse. Yeah, I did it earlier. You were too, huh? Huh? But yeah, look for trainers and stuff like that. Maybe people you like. Since I'm kind of a Cody crybaby, I might be tempted to take him up with the coin and such. But anytime you start seeing people underneath other ones, so like lower level golds, really good example, right? Of people you could potentially get a lot of levels into. If you don't care about their shards, defensive striker, so maybe not the best example here. But like, you can get more points with the shards. And that's really what you're looking for. Once you get to a certain point, it's really diminishing returns with all of these, unless they're somehow severely underleveled. So you can also just slide through like this, see what has your fuses, see what need a bunch of levels, and wait to see people like 70, 80, 100 levels, and then you're going to get really good bang for your buck on it. So this was a fuse, but he still already had a bunch of levels, so not ideal for someone I don't care about, you know? So you're just kind of going about it that way. Otherwise, like Scott Hall, I think was a fuse. I have a ton of shards for him. So you can get some more cheap talent that way, right? So just a different way of going about it where you can be pretty efficient, and much more efficient if you have a smaller roster. This is just going to be pretty decent. He's not horrible either, actually, with all the moments he has and stuff. So let's just get some here. A little less efficient than some of the other stuff I've done, but he's gold, right? Yeah, I got a fuse for him. Yeah. He's S tier. I should really save those shards, to be honest. Legitimately, I should save them strictly because S tier converts better. So I should save them. That's fine. Let's give it... You know what? Like I said, I have a bunch of stuff for him. I do have the other Drew, but this is just kind of... See, you can see we're almost there. I started at 7.75 for like 1.2 million points, and we're going to end up using like 100, like 500k, right? To get the last of these milestones, which I don't really need, but again, I felt like it was a good opportunity to show you guys. And now, yeah, there, I'm just kind of wasting stuff, right? So we're good. And yeah, if you want a YEET plate and you want some shards, got Kamala at 3,000 there. I already have him, but a YEET plate, Gunther shards, right? I mean, why not? I ended up using like 600,000 coins. Leveled up a few people I didn't care about, but a few people I did, have some fun with it. If you take your time, you can be really, really efficient with it. So that's step one of the news. To show you, let me go to my free-to-play real quick. Let's see, here. I'll show you. You can see maxed, barely. I've never maxed I don't think I've ever maxed a contest before in the free-to-play. Maybe I have, but I don't think so. The currency for the month-long prize wall is more than he'll get, like, a huge amount for him. And then to show you, like, showdown tasks, right, for the showdown event that's going on. Second in my bracket. I haven't played a ton. I think I have a shot at winning it, but it doesn't really matter. I don't need the points, so I don't care. I'm just playing showdown for tokens at this point, right? And some Julia shards that won't matter. But what I was going to show you was this, the tasks. I didn't do any of them because showdown sucks on this account, right? So, and you can see, if you watch yesterday's news, you can see I think, like 2.44 billion. So I got that with 700,000. And I just maxed, like, useful people like Brett. I put coin into, not TP much because I don't have him, but Brett is super useful. He was underleveled, right? Like, perfect. Didn't need any shards for him. Threw some into Macho, Rock, Cody, because I just had a bunch of those 5 stars. You can see all these striker, basically Hogan, all these basics 5 stars here were people that I just put some levels into in coin and then was able to max it. So hopefully that helps you guys. Go get you a YEET plate. This is one of those things, like I talk about, when you can get a plate, if you're free to play, you probably shouldn't pass it up, especially a strong plate. And kind of to make my point for you, this is the free to play. And look at, let's just go here. Let me Apparently go to someone with a strap equipped would work better. Yeah. Look, I have two yeet plates, right? On the two yeet plates, a rabbit plate, and a transfusion, which is what I've been able to finagle out of prize walls when they were available on a 4-month-old account. So none of those are feud bag pulls yet, and those are the ultimate ones. So you can do it. Primary ones not as good, right? But I did manage to get one pig boy. We got a barber shears and a couple Devon specs. So as far as in use, ultimate plates, you can see I also was able to get a Tiffany plate. So it is possible, guys. This is one of those things that I think it's worth the spend. This is also why when you see me do my talent up on the free to play, I'm really try to be careful about who I put coin into in particular and stuff. So I have some resources. The TP, I don't really have a choice on it. It takes so much and we get so little comparatively. So yeah, that's just maybe some tips for you. Go get you a yeet plate. I didn't stress it maybe as hard as I should have yesterday. That you with Striker Talent Up. I know I mentioned it, but I didn't really show you how much less resources you can use if you have the people sitting, right? So anyway, that's that part of the daily news. So like I said, other than that, it's a slow day. There's also another thing going on Discord, on the official server, which I thought I would talk to you guys about. And there's really not a lot known. Well, there's not a lot that I can say. Attention champs, we're gearing up to drop one of WWE Champion's hottest features in history, Titan Takeover. But before we do, we're inviting you to compete in a 5-day Ultimate Takeover Challenge. Anyway, it's a thing on Discord. You can earn a spot to beta test. It's not beta test, actually. Top 10 players will enter the Titan Takeover playtest. It's definitely not beta. I was able to play the beta of that. One of the few things in my time as a content creator that I've been a part of, but it's all under NDA, so I can't talk about any of that. Other than I thought it was fun, so I'm looking forward to when this comes. So hopefully we can give you guys more information. Also, I don't know how it's changed since then. Hopefully you guys can get more information on that as it comes out. But I don't want to do like a video on it because like I just can't. I don't want to be very careful and take my NDA super serious. But yeah, I did think it was fun. So take that for what it's worth, and I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be interesting to see what the final version looks like. And if you guys want to do the playtest thing, I think some of your factions may have already had a chance to sign people up or something. I don't know a lot about it because I don't really follow that stuff, but it's straight from the dev diary on the official WWE Champions Discord. So there you go. That's the big news. Other than that, we got some expiring tours and stuff. Of course, the showdown does end at a weird time if you're gunning for the leaderboard on it. So just kind of be aware of that. Make sure you go into the showdown. We talked about boss battle a little bit yesterday, boss battle weekend, but go into the showdown and check your time. It's 18 hours from now. It's 2 p.m. where I'm at. So that's like 6 hours before 2 p.m. So that's like 8 a.m. I think it ends for me. Something like that, which is a really weird freaking time for it to end. So it's a weird end on the showdown time. So just be aware of that. And then you got the Aleister Black tour, expiring tours. I need to do that today, obviously. We got speed tours every day. Nothing else is expiring other than the Aleister Black ones, and no new tours today. Just more showdown, no new tasks that I could see. So I don't really think there's too much to talk about there. We can check out the offers, though. There is a double offer, so 2 for the price of 1. There's not a $19.99 one, though. We have a $40 one instead, which gives 14 and 14, and then a $100 one for the true double. So that loot is an interesting loot. It's only the second time we've had a loot like it. I'll go over it with you guys. I showed you guys the talent up version on how to max it, so and coins, so I'm really not going to hold a lot of value for these loot pulls, other than they are what they are. I'm not going to say you get a bunch of contest milestones for them, because you guys know generally I like doing pulls during contest milestones where I get guaranteed, right? So that's my normal MO. I'm not going to change that, but it is a double pull, and we will look at the other loot when we get there. If you want some of those special ones to give it a whirl, you know, $2.99 with the beach brawl points, whatever, you know, $19.99 for 7 pulls. It is what it is. They're all kind of the same. It's just if you happen to want any of that, nothing guaranteed other than some resources. So yeah, there's not a lot new there. Let's do my daily bag pull, see if we hit some pulls. Mherex account hit a bunch of pulls today on his. Nope, no pulls. Okay, that's fine. I'm good with it. And then just kind of curious, just to show you guys, so that those chunk of currency I got for this is pretty good, right? Now I'm up to 8,000. That's a lot. I could have really used those last month. Just missed a Titan plate by 150 tokens. So this month I will probably just try and grab this. I think grab the McCool shards will be top priority, right? McCool shards, Jacob shards would be second, I think. Nakamura third, and then maybe Bundy, if I have enough. But these first all the way. McCool's insane. I need her on my account. So yeah, the extra things help if you can, can get them. So you definitely want to be aware of that. And now let's check out that loot. It's the heat check one. So it's another one of these. A 40 pull gets you 40 featured. So if you are close to Mommy and Gunther both, this is probably a decent chance if you're willing to spend $100. You're going to get 40 different shards, probably somewhere between, I would guess, 300 and 500 mix between the two. Somewhere like that, maybe less, maybe more, right? Who knows? It is what it is. And then the reason to do the 7 pulls if you're after the mega rare. So let's say you want Ilya Numaga, same deal, higher shard count on the low end, and the high end, right? So that's your 7 pulls will generate that. And if what you're going for is Reed and Acom here, which I wouldn't recommend, by the way, then do single pulls. So this one, I think, potentially has value if you're somebody that's a spender, you're close-ish to Rhea and Gunther, and you're tired of waiting for them on a prize wall, and you're okay spending to get them earlier. Then maybe this has value for you, right? I don't think it's a bad loot, because you pretty much know what you're getting into. So in that regards, I do like it. And Mommy is ridiculously good. To be fair, though, I also feel like McCool is very, very good, has a hot tag, which Mommy doesn't, and then you also have Bex, who can do so many different things. Now, in their own way, they each have their advantages, so keep that in mind. Mommy and Becky both have access to the moment with tons of health. McCool has the hot tag, right? McCool hits really hard with 2 clicks on a multiply set with her gear. Becky's got multiple build sets you can run with her. Check out that video if you want to see. And Mommy is just an insane move damage power. Like off the charts move damage. So she's one of the few move damage people that you can actually run that hits super hard. She can get you out of a bunch of really sticky situations with people that have high armor, high health, that kind of thing, right? She just doesn't really particularly care, especially if you have her gear. So they're all 3 great in their own way. But just don't think I'm saying that like I'm overhyping like Mommy, like she's like miles and miles the best lady in the game. For a while, I think she probably was, to be honest. But I do think there's a couple contenders potentially that you could make a case for. I'm not saying they're necessarily better than Mommy with gear, but I find McCool with gear incredibly useful, and Becky with all her stuff has definitely been super useful, and so has Mommy. So that's kind of like what I look for is on account stuff. The thing that really separates her, though, is the move damage, because I have so few people that can do move damage. She's unique on the Mherex account for that reason, right? So yeah, I think that's fair. And I think that's it. Like I said, it's kind of a slow day. It's a great day. Go get catch up on your tours. Get as much done as you can today while there's nothing going on. Put your scouting mission in for boss if you haven't already. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Go get yourself a yeet plate and some shards, huh? Thanks for watching, and good luck out there. Oh yeah, remember to like, subscribe, and share too, eh? Please? Question mark?